Open Your Eyes is brought to you by the Belize Bank, our country, your bank, and Smart, bringing people together.
Live from the GBM studios in Belize City, it's Open Your Eyes. Start your morning right with your hosts, Sabrina Daly and Isani Kaitano.
Good morning, Belize, and welcome to Open Our Eyes.
Start your morning right.
I am Isani Kaitano.
And I'm Sabrina Daly.
And today is the 26th of May. It's a Tuesday, an overcast Tuesday, Sab.
That's right. It's a little bit rainy in certain parts of the country. I'll tell you, when I was driving here, I saw some drizzling taking place, and I noticed that it rained last night as well.
In your neck of the woods?
In my neck of the woods,
Okay.
at least. And I could
It
tell.
was hot last night.
Oh.
When I woke up this morning, it was drizzling. And you hear the thunder rumbling.
Yeah.
And we're waiting for the cloud break, right?
The thing is,
The plants, man, and then it's been hot over these past few weeks.
I'll tell you though, but even with the rain that I experience in my part where I live, it's still hot. That's not a
Yes,
problem.
yes.
It's still
Yes.
hot. And so I know we came from Hopkins yesterday, and some of the residents were saying that they're hoping for the rain because they want their mangoes come out without worm in there. I didn't know that they need the rain for that.
Neither did
and
I.
so,
That's
yeah,
a fun fact.
so I just learned that. But I know that at least here in Belize City, it seems like there might be some showers of blessings. Hopefully it comes with a little bit of cooler temperatures as well. And so take
Let's
that
see,
information
let's
with
see.
you.
I'm
Hopefully,
optimistic.
All
Try
right,
to
we'll
keep a
stay
positive
optimistic.
mind, right?
We'll stay that way as well. And speaking of optimism, I think you have some wonderful topics lined
Yes.
up for us this morning. What you
So
got
we
for
have
us?
4 topics that we're going to be discussing this morning, beginning with raising awareness on child neglect and child protection with the National Commission for Families and Children. All right, our second conversation is going to be with our friends from the SSB, and they're celebrating a milestone in service growth and community impact. Our third conversation is about World Environment Day. All right, it's a call to climate action. And lastly, we're cleaning up the streets of Belize City. We're going to be joined by the Belize City Council as they talk to us about removing derelict vehicles from the streets of the city, and of course the cleaning campaign that they've been doing ahead of the upcoming hurricane season. Take it away, Sab.
All right, thank you very much for that, Isani. Now let's jump into some of the topics we think uno need to know before you leave your house this morning. Now this one that I'm about to open up with, I've been seeing all over social media, people that complain that they said that it's so hot, and then they're getting electricity bills on top of that with exorbitant prices. Sky high net bills that come. And so we'll be talking about that. I'll definitely want to hear from you guys in the comment section. Are you seeing your BEL bills jumping sky high as well? Some people are reporting up to 3 times the amount of their normal prices that they have been paying. Then after that, the price of dollar vans are also set to increase. That's right, dollar van, not dollar van no more. It jumped from $1 to $2, now $3 you can expect as well. And so they spoke with the Dollar Van Association on what is causing this price hike and what you guys can expect as well. Then more drama coming out of the NEBL. They're responding to a dispute of a game letter and scheduling confusion. We'll be talking about that as well. There's a lot on the line, $100,000 on the line. They need to get it right, and hopefully we get a chance to talk about it. And then our final conversation, really a 2-part. Conversations around AI and schools. It's also graduation season, and so there's definitely commencement speeches and guest speakers coming at different schools. And so in universities in the United States, there's a conversation around artificial intelligence and really what that space looks like for graduates. Are they optimistic about what their future is when it comes to securing jobs? We'll be talking about that in 2 different stories. But Isani, I'll send it over to you now and we can begin with what you're thinking.
All right, so let's begin with bills.
All right.
All right, so on Friday of last week, we spoke a bit about this issue that's been happening with people and their light bills, right? They took to the comment section and they went off over increases in their respective light bills.
Yeah.
And so the first thing we did was reach out to BL to sort of get an explanation as to what's been going on. Well, they took long to respond. As a matter of fact, they responded well after our newscast on Friday. But the gist of it all is that people are complaining that over the past billing cycle, they've realized a significant increase in their light bill. And so the rationale from BEL's end is that, well, it's the month of May, arguably one of the hotter months, if not the hottest month of the year. And so people are, consuming a lot of energy for ACs, fans, and all of these other appliances that would otherwise keep them cool.
Right.
But some people are saying, look, man, I need even the home during the day.
Yeah.
I work all day and I come home 6:30, and well, my light bill shouldn't be that high, right? Because when you think about it, some people argue, well, I'm only awake for a couple hours and then I go to bed, but then if your AC is on throughout the course of the night, or if your fan is on throughout the course of the night, then that does raise your bill. But this is the challenge, right? And this is what I would invite our viewers to participate in with us, right? You can't just say your bill gone high. Perhaps you should be open enough to share your bill so that we could actually see,
show me how much you need to pay.
yeah, last month versus this month,
Yeah.
and so on. Because it would perhaps be easy for someone to simply join the bandwagon and say, my bill gone up too.
Yeah.
Without any rationale or justification. But all of that said, Sab, they're not just one or two people that say it. It's a loud buzz taking place, right? From people across the country
And
who
some
are
of the
saying
prices-
their bills are through the roof.
Some of the price though, Isani, where people they say
Yeah.
jump up to like $700, all of that. I don't wonder if they want business that they run. I mean, I would cry living I water if I say a bill cost $700. But you're right. There was a statement that was issued by the Belize Electricity Limited, and they pointed out the fact that during warmer temperatures, normal appliances would have to work a bit harder to keep cool. So your refrigerator, for example, if you go and you open your fridge, whatever energy it would use on a regular basis when the temperatures are like maybe in the 80s or something like that, when it's in the 90s or higher, you have to work really harder when you open your fridge for that 30 seconds. Now, I know some people they got bad style and they want maybe the kids are open it longer and they look wrong in it. Maybe they ain't got nothing in it to get out. All of that burn extra energy. You know, the fan that you would be using. Some people like want to pull out 2 fans then. All of that burns extra energy.
Yeah, but here's the thing though, right? I would want to agree with the mothers, or the parents I should say really,
Yeah.
who will tell you that for the most part, if they need to work, the kids in at school.
And that's fair.
Right? So, and admittedly, you spend more time outside of your house than you do at home.
Yeah.
For many of us, right?
So maybe the question is this happening on the weekends, when you're at home, when you get off from work and from school?
Again, I would encourage everybody who
Yeah.
has seen a significant increase in their bill to just look at the consumption, right? There should be a pattern somewhere where you could say, you know what, maybe I burn too much current at night versus during the day, maybe
Yeah.
more over the weekend than during the work week, so on and so forth, right?
Well-
But I from my end, I would legitimately want someone from BEL, because we've been trying persistently since Friday, and all we got was a thin press release that really didn't say much. So we would
Yeah.
want someone to actually come on record and explain to our public, to your customers actually, what's going on.
Well, make I show you my bill, because I'm proud of my bill. I only gone up like $10 since the heat came in. But I want to jump in the comment section and read some of the comments from our viewers. Also, good morning to everyone at this time. I see Michelle Sampson saying, yes, my bill didn't jump high, but still high. I'm not home from 7 to 6, Monday to Friday, and doing the same on weekends. Cha. So very similar, I guess. We have a similar situation, Michelle. I'm also not home, and I haven't really changed anything much, but I did experience a slight increase in my bill. I see another person say, no, Miss Sabrina, something is wrong with BEL. How will one refrigerator and one TV that's plugged in and that's not being used will run my bill to $260? I work from 5 a.m. to 6 p.m. Wow. Well, I definitely think you need to inquire about that with the Belize Electricity Limited viewer, because not one I can't explain. I can't justify. I'm only thinking my situation, or maybe, idling kids who might be utilizing other appliances.
But I'm also saying that there are quite a number of people who have expressed the same issue. Similar to that person who's saying, look, I work from 5 to 6, and it's only a fan and a TV for the most part.
Did you experience any increase?
I haven't seen the bill for this month yet.
Okay.
Right? And I'm waiting with bated breath, as they would say, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if we expect. But yes, I mean, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised either. I think this is something that's going around across, the consumership, if I could call it that.
Yeah, I think if your bill is jumping like double or triple and you haven't really changed your routine, that's definitely something to be making noise about. Definitely don't stay silent about that. Reach out to the Belize Electricity Limited, and if that's the case, I think those are the people we definitely want to be speaking to as well. So reach out to us.
Talking about increases, right? So along with the increase in fuel prices at the pump comes an increase in bus fares, right? And not far behind it, be taxi and dollar van, right?
Yeah.
Now, I don't know why we still call anything named dollar van.
I know, right? They're like dollar wap. Nobody not paying no dollar wap no more.
I don't know why they still call it dollar van, because it's no longer a dollar. It hasn't been a dollar for quite some time. It's been $2, now they're bumping it up to $3.
Yeah.
But again, for me, it is more than a legitimate point that is being raised by these operators, right? And it wasn't far away either. This could have been seen coming a mile away, no pun intended, right? When the cost of fuel increases, everything else does.
Yeah.
And public transportation feels it immediately. Similarly, the cost of goods and services are expected to go up as well, right? So now, dollar van people, and say, all right, here they go on. For adults, we'll bump it up to $3, but the kids will stay at the same rate, right? And maybe that's a good thing.
I think that's
They're
an
trying to
excellent thing.
balance things off, right?
Yeah.
But, I respect the dollar van guys, right? It's an honest living. But the same way how they are quick to address this issue that's affecting them directly, which is the cost of fuel and doing business, they have to equally address how to run the Mahogany Street and all of the other places, because
Tell me.
they are some of the worst drivers in and around the city. They don't respect pedestrians, they don't respect cyclists, and they don't respect their fellow motorists. And I'm saying this because I've seen it. I've seen the effects of it, all the fender benders and all of these things, right?
That's right. When I do drive along that stretch, I get a little bit of anxiety. I just don't want to knock down nobody. I just feel like a lot to go on around you. You're very overstimulated.
No, I mean, it's like, and I'm digressing away from the cost of the new fares and what have you. I get it. But I'll just take the same opportunity to remind them that they have to be responsible. Watch out. You to travel along the Mahogany Street or along any other route that the dollar vans take, and they just arbitrarily pull off on the side of the road in front of her, like no indication, no nothing. And if you're not quick enough, you're going to rear end them.
Yeah.
Right?
And it's interesting that you bring that up, because what they highlighted was that the association is now expressing concern that there are people who are just now starting to run dollar vans along that stretch and not being a part of the association itself. So I guess they have their own rules and regulations that they abide by, at least where the quality of service and the quality of the vans that they're putting out, they mentioned that they're trying to upgrade their van fleets and whatnot. But as it relates to the driving and the safety on the road, I don't know what to say.
So I'll use this opportunity, since we're talking about an increase in fares, right? When you look at the overall effect of what's taking place on the cost of living, Sab, man, it's amazing. Share a little story and I go into the next topic, right? I got at my usual burrito spot yesterday. And they no longer have their prices on the stand, right? So I'm thinking, price is still normal, right?
Yeah.
So I ran a joke and I said, okay, man, I call from a usual beef burrito.
Yeah.
And when they hit me with the price, I'm like, well, hold on, I only bring exact money because I'm thinking
Poor
from
thing.
Friday to today.
Sure, to credit.
No.
I'm joking.
I don't do credit, but yes, I'm simply saying everything has gone up.
Yeah.
So over the course of a few days, like from Friday, if I ordered the same thing on Friday and I came on Monday
Yeah.
expecting to pay the same, I was told, no, it got up by $1 or whatever. I was like,
Yeah.
well, okay then.
I mean, it was just last Friday we were talking about the fact that premium gasoline was cheaper than regular, and so people were complaining and saying, you know, now they have to be putting in treatments in their gas tanks to switch from regular to premium. Paul was
Yeah.
saying, well, premium that it treatment itself, you know, and then when I went to the pumps over the weekend. Premium is now more expensive again. Gasoline, regular gas is now the cheaper option. So it's just going up every single day. You have to check the prices to see what things are because there might be a change. You can't go at exact what you thought it was back in the day, which was literally just yesterday anymore.
And I'll conclude by saying this. I think for the critics who have compared what's taking place right now with the steep increases in the cost of living due to the fuel issue, they're right when they're saying feel like COVID 2.0.
Yeah, it
Because
does.
during COVID, a lot of people were forced to pinch
Yeah.
the little that they have to be able to provide for themselves and their family. And I think we're right there again.
It's a different type of
Right?
stress, but it's
Yes.
stress nonetheless.
Yes. No disease-related issue. It's just the pockets are hurting severely.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll skip the NEBL one for now and then go to the issue that's taking place in the United States. And I'm almost certain that it's an issue that many of us here who are going to be graduating soon will be able to relate to. So it's commencement season, right?
Yeah.
A lot of kids coming out of high school, a lot of kids coming out of community college, a lot of kids coming out of university and stuff like that. And so in the United States, much like in Belize, we invite all of these big name guest speakers to come in and, you know, do the actual keynote address, so to speak. And what they've been noticing in the United States recently is that because we're in this whole tech boom and everything, these universities bring in all of these guys from Silicon Valley, right, to come in and, you know, do the guest speech, the guest lecture, so to speak. And it shows a serious disconnect between these individuals and the students who are coming out of school, where they're saying, look, AI is a wonderful tool. AI is arguably the best thing since the Industrial Revolution so many centuries ago,
Yeah.
right? But then they're preaching to a choir or an audience that are very, very wary of AI because AI stands to replace the very work that they have been studying all of these years to graduate into, right? So there's a serious disconnect. And I listened to what was being said and I think about what happening here in Belize, right? So we had a workshop last week where the Prime Minister lauded AI and all the benefits of AI
Yeah.
and people having to keep
Some
up
people
with
are
AI
celebrating,
and stuff,
yeah.
right? But in a climate where we're saying AI will replace certain jobs, then it becomes a very real issue for people who are coming out of school. And I look at this as an example. I was thinking about it earlier. We have all of this investment in infrastructure for business process outsourcing. Because I believe call center are everything, right? Everybody want to get into the call center business. But then there's also the flip side of the coin where we're saying, well, okay, well, very soon you'll have AI bots that can do the very same thing that thousands of Belizeans, I heard there was 20,000 Belizeans who are invested in the in the BPO sector can be doing.
Yeah.
So shouldn't they feel a bit nervous if sometime soon they introduce an application or a software that is able to completely, you know, take over that sector where you don't have to be paying thousands of dollars to outsource this kind of work, where perhaps the efficacy and all of these other key performance indices and everything will be higher than the human one, right? So they should probably feel the same way. And that's the parallel that I'm drawing, right? Between what's happening in the United States with these kids graduating out of college and what could very well be our newfound reality here in Belize where our industry that we've invested so much in can equally be at peril, because if you introduce AI, then you look at thousands of layoffs.
Yeah, the irony of it was I was looking at the article really quickly, and I saw that when the commencement speech was being given, there were some protesting, from the audience, some students showing up placards saying, "Did ChatGPT write that speech?" Because you would know that there are certain universities or certain schools who that are completely against AI support for writing essays and stuff like that. But then on the other side, they're celebrating the idea of what it could do for us, how it could advance the type of work that we're producing and whatnot. But I think it kind of like contradicts itself. I was thinking about this, and we were kind of talking about it earlier this morning, and I'm hoping that certain institutions will adapt their curriculum to the change of times, When we think of certain jobs that might switch over completely to artificial intelligence, there should be something else that they're offering as an option, where it's looking to the future in terms of certain jobs. I feel like trade work will come right back around, and those will be the type of work that will be, what we look as the engineers, the type of work that gets a lot of money. These are the type of jobs that you won't be able to replace with technology, so they will be able to earn a lot.
You'd be surprised.
I'm hoping, at least, I'm hoping that they get more respect for the type of work that they're doing too. So it's an interesting conversation.
Yeah. All right. So we jump now to the NEBL, right? So I don't know. I really don't know how I feel about this one, right? Someone asked me last week. We were just having this general conversation. Have you attended any of the games, and what's your overall vibe and everything? Admittedly, I've only attended one, right?
Yeah.
It was a Belize City game, a Belize City-based game. And for some reason, and I may be out of the loop, and if I am, guys, not crucify me, just forgive me, right?
All right, hold the sticks.
It doesn't feel as if though there's that energy about it this time around than perhaps in previous years or previous iterations of basketball championships and so on in Belize City. Just not feel that way. Right? And so we're at the final leg of this season, and you have teams that are ensuring that their standings put them in a position where they can compete for the $100,000 jackpot, as you've mentioned, right? And so you have the Tiger Sharks, and then you have the Griga Dream Ballers, who a few weeks ago were to have played a game down in Dangriga, but there were issues over bringing someone in at the last minute and getting clearance and all of these things for the individual to play, right? And it seems that there was a protest, and the match wasn't, the game didn't go off, right? Now, in the wake of that, somebody saw it in their own mind that they might issue a fake press release that said that there won't be these teams won't play that game again, and so on, right? And naturally, when you're thinking about your standings going towards the end of the season, you want to make sure that everything legit. So what about that match that should have taken place, right? And so now the NEBL came back and set the record straight. Look, this is that press release that come out
that never go far away.
That wasn't sanctioned at all.
So who write it? That's my question. I want to know.
Not sure, but it's mischief making.
We want to know that who do that.
They throw a whole monkey wrench in at the thing, right?
I'm telling you.
So now the NEBL, as I've mentioned, has come forward to say, look, this game will be taking place. I think it's either this week or sometimes fairly soon. This game will be taking place. And so that should settle it.
Yeah.
Whoever wins and does so legitimately, no hanky-panky, no nothing, whoever wins gets the edge. Right? And again, this is a match between the Tiger Sharks and the Dream Ballers, right?
I personally think that's not a good look. I think of the fight that was taking place a few weeks ago as well. You spoke about just the vibe of the overall season 2 feeling different. But I also think of so many changes that happened since then too. You had the BEBL with Comine, and then that kind of also changed the spirit of how we look at basketball here in Belize. I'm just hoping that they kind of like clean this up before the finals, because you have $100,000 on the line, man.
But it doesn't seem, so while the $100,000 is enticing for the athletes who are,
and the last thing you want is somebody holla thief, because it just go downhill from there.
But I'm going beyond that, Sab. I'm simply saying, so while there's $100,000 there for the taking, Belizean people that seem to gravitate to the civic or these players for spectate. That seems to be, that's my issue apparently.
Well, I mean, I'll tell you, for me personally,
Yeah.
I typically go to the finals game. I like feel the energy when everybody, they fight for their life to get the 100,000 or whatever, you know, they would be winning in the end. But like I was saying earlier though, I feel like maybe one of the reasons why the expectation isn't the same is because of the many changes that took place in like the last 5 years.
Yeah.
Too much change, man. Let's just get it together this time. Let's please like settle all of the issues. We don't want no fight on the court. Let's keep it classy, play the ball, and win the game. Yeah. But and hopefully we'll see you at the finals and we'll see you like appreciate what happened.
I make no promises, but we'll see.
All
but
right.
There we go.
All righty, Isani, let's wrap things up at this time. Let me jump in the comment section really quickly and just tell you guys good morning as well. I see a couple of you commenting at this time. I see Ryan Marin saying, we must think differently and adapt to a world that waits for no one. Fuel is the biggest cost to the country and foreign currency reserves. Find ways to cut your fuel expenses. That's an interesting take. I think you mentioned what you're saying about adaptability or adapting to the situation is valid, Ryan. But I think in certain cases there are people who might not be able to adapt so easily, and so that's where the frustration comes from. But we appreciate your comment nonetheless. Moving things along, Michelle said, oh yes, I went to buy water at Zeta this weekend and it went from $3 to $4. Well, there you go. Some people who purchase water. So now from water we paying more for. Need to wash out my VAT. Very good, Michelle.
You need rain for that.
Yes, we need the rain for that, please. We see Sonia Singh saying, I'm waiting like Isani to see my next bill and cut down much as possible using electricity since I had many complaining. We also see here Esther saying, good morning, family. Good morning to you, Esther. Sonia saying good morning as well. And many other people who are tuning in at this time. Wilbert Zelaya, good morning to you. Samson Jacobs, good morning. Junior Ramos saying good morning, loving the weather here in Belmopan. Beautiful rainy morning. I know you guys in Belmopan might be hoping for cooler temps, especially when it's hot like this. I want to say a huge shout out to everyone who I saw over the weekend at the Cancer Walk as well. Mish, I made a look for you. I never see you, Mish. I saw you posting pictures at the finish line. I walk right to Channel 5 gate. That's still the finish line for me. And so to everyone who participated, I definitely have to say kudos to them. This year, the Cancer Walk felt long. I was telling Isani about it, but I finished it nonetheless. But let's move things along. We have a fantastic show lined up. And just a quick check-in if we have a weather update. We are going to jump into our Eye on the Weather next, courtesy the folks from the National Met Service. All right, this is our Eye on the Weather, brought to you by the National Met Service. And in terms of today's forecast, you can expect cloudy with sunny breaks today, along with a few showers, periods of light rain and thunderstorms. Partly cloudy tonight with isolated showers or thunderstorms, with a few more developing over the south. So as you see, sounds like we are expecting some rain. In coastal areas, temperatures will look like 88 degrees Fahrenheit for highs, then dropping to lows of 81 degrees Fahrenheit. Inland, you can expect warmer temperatures for highs of 93 degrees Fahrenheit, then dropping to lows of 72. In the hills, highs of 82 degrees Fahrenheit, dropping to lows of 66. In terms of our extended forecast for Wednesday through to Saturday for coastal and inland areas. On Wednesday, highs of 89, then dropping to lows of 82 for coastal areas. Inland, highs of 95, dropping to lows of 73. Very similar temperatures on Thursday. And then on Friday, highs of 87 for coastal areas, dropping to lows of 81. Highs of 93 for inland, dropping to lows of 73. And then on Saturday, highs of 88 for coastal, dropping to 81. And then highs of 94 for inland, dropping to 72. The sun rose this morning at 5:17 a.m. and will set at 6:21 p.m. The moonrise will take place or took place at 2:39 a.m. and will set at 2:32 p.m. And the sea state is choppy, as you can expect, with winds blowing from east to southeast at 10 to 20 knots. Today's high tide will take place, or took place, at 6:26 a.m. and a low tide will take place at 1:26 p.m. Another high tide will take place at 7:31 p.m. and then tomorrow another low tide at 12:50 a.m. And that does it for our Eye on the Weather, brought to you by the folks from the National Meteorological Service. Isani, back to you.
All right, thanks, Sab. Guys, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we return, it's all about discussing child neglect and child protection with the National Commission for Families and Children. Stay tuned.
Full-Tech Systems understand that technology isn't just a tool, it's a game changer. At home, smart devices and AI are revolutionizing daily life. In education, tech is making learning more interactive and accessible for students and educators alike. For businesses and government, it's driving innovation, streamlining operations, and unlocking growth, leveraging tech for better services, infrastructure, and security. At Full-Tech Systems, we help you thrive with cutting-edge solutions, partnering with leaders like Dell, HP, Microsoft, APC, Fortinet, Cisco, and Tomy. We deliver the right products for your needs, whether it's boosting efficiency, improving customer engagement, or scaling operations. Connect with us and let's drive innovation together. Full-Tech Systems, your technology center, where you come for the price, but stay for the service.
In the heart of the Kayo district, Calico Jacks is proving that sustainability and success can go hand in hand.
When Calico Jacks wanted to move to solar energy, the biggest difficulty for us was the finance. Belize Bank believed in our vision, and we are very happy and grateful that they gave us this opportunity for the financing.
Through the Credit Risk Abatement Facility, a partnership between Belize Bank and the CARICOM Development Fund, small and medium businesses can access financing for renewable and energy-efficient solutions with reduced collateral requirements.
Here at SCSB, we're grateful for Belize Bank to make it easier for our clients to go green. We're proud to work with businesses like Calico Jacks to help them lower their costs and their carbon footprint.
At Belize Bank, we are powering Belize's transition to renewable energy, one business at a time. Together with our partners, we're making sustainable financing accessible for all.
Belize Bank, financing a greener, stronger Belize.
Some hands do more than carry. They prepare, they fix, they comfort. They keep a home moving in ways few people notice. And even when the day is done, they are still thinking of home. For the months of May and June, we celebrate the hands that hold the home together, offering you 25% off on tiles, lights, fans, ACs, gardening supplies, and more, both in-store and online. Thank you, moms and dads, from Builders Hardware.
Stay connected in the USA for as low as $10. With Smart Roaming Data Pass, staying connected is simple and affordable. Get the data you need starting at 1,000 megabytes to stay connected to larger plans that keep you online while you travel across the USA. So you can message, browse, video call, and navigate wherever you go. No SIM swap, no bill shock. Just simple, affordable pricing. Activate easily by dialing *100# using the Smart app or online. Smart Roaming Data Pass. Staying connected the smart way. Smart, bringing people together.
Prepare for the sweltering heat with a Rheem AC unit to keep you and your family cool and cozy. Get the recommended BTU for your bedroom or living room and enjoy complete comfort. You can also save some much-needed cash with an inverter unit, which provides superior energy efficiency. When the heat is on, stay cool with an affordable, dependable AC unit from Rheem. Available at Benny's. Quality and savings.
People don't travel with cash anymore. People would stop and they want to do a coffee tour, they want to buy coffee, but people don't have cash with them. Online banking facilitated a lot of what we do. I don't have to run to town and I have to use fuel and other expenses. Atlantic Bank actually approached us. They facilitated us with a bank account, which is something that we didn't have in hand, and then with a POS machine. I sit and sip my good cup of coffee and do payments.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Insurance fact. Did you know Home Protector Insurance provides liability insurance that is for licensing, public liability insurance for the hotels and guest houses protects the guests staying at the resort, tour operators insurance for on-site tourists, and marine passenger liability for passengers. You take care of your guests, we'll take care of you. Visit any Home Protector Insurance office near you to learn more.
Electricity is essential for everyday life, but behind every outlet, a lot is happening to bring you safe, reliable, and sustainable energy. Let's start at the beginning. Independent power producers across Belize generate electricity using a mix of renewable and non-renewable resources. Electricity travels across a network of high-voltage transmission lines capable of transmitting electricity across long distances. Electricity then reaches your nearest substation, where it is adjusted to a lower voltage, making it safe to travel on the distribution lines you see in your community. From there, electricity makes its final journey from the distribution lines to your home, providing you with safe and reliable power when you need it. Belize Electricity Limited. We continue to serve you.
Haven't updated your information recently? Well, kick off the new year as a winner. RF&G Insurance is giving you a free chance to win every month. Entering is easy. Just chat with us on WhatsApp and update your information. That's it. You'll be automatically entered into our monthly raffle for a chance to win awesome prizes. Don't wait. Message us on WhatsApp and update your info today. RF&G Insurance. It pays to get it right.
And welcome back. Joining us for our first conversation this morning are representatives from the NCFC. They're here to talk about child neglect and child protection. In studio with us this morning, we have Carla Alvarez. She's the Blue Teddy Bear Campaign Lead Consultant at the NCFC. Good morning, Carla.
Good morning.
And she is accompanied by Tiana Felix, an M&E officer at NCFC. Good morning.
Good morning.
And next to Tiana is Anna Carrillo, Child and Adolescent Participation Officer, also at the NCFC.
Good morning.
Ladies,
Ladies.
good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And Teddy, good morning.
Yes.
I forgot the blue Teddy.
Ladies and Teddy,
Yeah.
good morning. Speaking about Teddy, let's go back a bit for the benefit of our viewers who may not have been following the Blue Teddy campaign and kind of get them up to speed with what's taking place there.
Okay, so the Blue Teddy Bear campaign is an advocacy initiative which is spearheaded by the National Commission for Families and Children, NCFC, and UNICEF Belize. And it's basically to promote an awareness for child protection against sexual violence, abuse, and neglect.
Yeah. Where did the concept of the blue teddy bear come from, or what's the role of the teddy bear?
Okay, actually the Blue Teddy Bear campaign came out of a research project from the University of the West Indies in about, I think it was 2008. And then it expanded to other parts of the Caribbean. And so wherever we have the Blue Teddy Bear campaign, it is basically funded by UNICEF.
So the idea of the teddy bear, it's supposed to represent that comfort that a child
Yes,
can cling to
exactly.
In moments of distress, whether neglect, whether any type of abuse, there's some type of consoling item that a child would have. So in this case, it's a blue teddy bear that we're using as that symbol. When we look at data here in Belize, I think it's alarming any type of information that's out where a child is being abused. But as the NCFC, responsible for families and children, what type of information are you guys collecting in terms of children in Belize who are being abused?
So before we started this campaign, we looked at the data from the Ministry of Human Development, Family Support and Gender Affairs. So for the intakes for 2025, there were 405 cases in Belize District. And
in Belize District
right? That's out of 1,000 case, a little bit over 1,000 case nationally.
Wow.
Right? Us as in Belize District being the highest. Right?
And that involves several forms of abuse.
Yes. Physical violence, sexual assault, sexual abuse,
abandonment, neglect.
And neglect. So neglect happens to be the most reported.
Wow.
Actually, 160 of those 405 cases is neglect.
When we say neglect, is it that parents or adults are leaving kids unattended for extended periods of time or what have you? Or is it that?
4 types of neglect. So you have the financial neglect. So that's the one where either both parents or one parent is not providing for the child. Then you have the medical neglect, meaning that we have a tendency here, if the child is sick, okay, we're going to give it 24 hours. Okay, let's push it to 48 hours. And then it gets critical, then that can be considered as neglect. Then you have the physical neglect that you're mentioning, where you would physically leave them unattended. And these have to be intentional. This is not like, sometimes it could be a random act, but it depends on the length of the time that is happening. And then also emotional neglect, meaning that you're not able to provide that comfort, that support for a child. Well, in some cases people say, oh, you have multiple children and you cannot give all children the same attention. But it doesn't mean that you're not able to do that. It means that you're intentionally not giving that attention to that child.
When I think of data and data collection, especially based on the numbers that you just listed, Ms. Felix, I always feel a little bit concerned because you are expressing reported cases.
Right.
And so there's a likelihood that there's much more unreported.
There's a lot of underreporting in Belize. And I think through the Blue Teddy Bear campaign, that's where we want the main focus of the campaign to is directed towards, because it's one of the main messages that we highlight in the campaign is know your referral pathway, which is actually to know how to report it, how to identify the signs of abuse, and also knowing your rights as a reporter.
I think that what we often find is that there are situations where people still feel that resistance to report on certain cases because of the sensitivity of it. You're fearful that they want to know that the amiga and say it. You don't want to create any more tensions within dynamics. And then in the case of the person being abused, some of them don't even know that it's actually abuse that they're in.
Yes.
Is that fair to say?
Yeah, that's fair to say, because a lot of people don't know what exactly constitutes as abuse, especially in cases like neglect. You see neglect and you realize, that parent just, doesn't have the time. But like what Ms. Anna said, it is intentional, right?
Which brings me to this, right? Can underreporting be interpreted as perhaps either a normalization or
It
can be?
It can be a norm within
Mhm.
Belize itself, and that is something that I think Blue Teddy Bear is challenging, that norm of underreporting. And you know, it goes a long way that us as a community in Belize, we have to start realizing that we have rights to protect children, and these children have rights that we have to uphold.
And it's important for people to know that you can report anonymously. We do have some hotline numbers, 0800 PROTECT, 0800 A Way Out, right? So you can report anonymously.
Yeah.
I'll give you an experience that I had about a month and a half or so ago, right? I had a neighbor who, for whatever reason, was always loud and verbally abusive to her kids, right? So I don't know what the factors are that creates this tension and frustration within their setting. I really don't know. I'm only hearing from next door what's going on, right? And one day I went to the store nearby and I was returning and I heard this woman berating her teenage son the worst kind of way, right? And it seems as if though the cussing out happened after she had hit the child, right? But the language and the tone, right? I, as an adult, as a man, like I felt the need to intervene, but I had two minds, right? I like, it's all the man in own damn business, because that got nothing to do with you. Admittedly, that was one thought, right? The other was, I can't not pretend like this not happened next door and it's been happening for so long. The point that I'm making is, in that moment, I did not necessarily know how to navigate that, who to call or you know, and if I'm able to do that anonymously, given the proximity of what's happening, it's the woman would probably still feel like that one idea by somebody.
Which kind of goes back to what I was saying. You don't want to. A lot of people don't want to ruffle feathers. They're not certain that it's really anonymous because
it's a catch-22, really. Right?
Yes.
So how do we?
It happens often than that, where you have this internal conflict that you're asking yourself, should I intervene? Because from past experience, you have seen where once a person intervenes, the aggression turns from not from the person who was receiving it to the person who is now stepping in. And a lot of times they would end up in very bad situations, and you know, even some people even lose their lives. So we become very conscious about what is it that we need to do or not to do. But like Miss Carla said here, you can report it anonymously. You can call the numbers. I'm sure you have a direct contact with some sort of police officer or somebody in the community. You can call NCFC or someone at NCFC and just address it and say, I have this, and you give all the details. I've had where, well, you all know I do the Children's Parliament, and we talked about child abuse with them, and then they started to report to me, and then we would then report it to the Department of Human Services, because we work very closely with the Department of Human Services, along with UNICEF, to make sure that this information is going out. We want you to feel comfortable to pick up the phone and say, I want to report. We don't, because I feel like the longer we stay in our shell of being protective of oneself, we are neglecting everybody else. And we're
part of the problem.
We are part of the problem then. Exactly.
And that's a hard pill to swallow, though, you know, because as Isani mentioned, it feels like a catch-22, and that's such an excellent way to put it. When you find yourselves in a position where you're not certain if you go and you report it, if it's going to be dealt with, and if it comes out that it's just kind of like a warning, then that might make the situation worse. And so you worry that you might be actually adding to the problem by reporting it.
One of the key messages of the Blue Teddy Bear campaign is that child protection is everybody's business, right? So it is your responsibility, you know, if you're faced with a case like that you make the report. And like I said, we emphasize that, you know, the reporting can be done anonymously. One of the parts of the training that we do is teaching people the referral pathway and what is your role, whether you are a community-based organization, whether you are the police, whether you are a part of the private sector, or just anybody in the community. What is your responsibility, right? Are you just a reporter? Are you an investigator, right? And so that's very important to keep in mind.
So looking at Isani's situation, and I imagine many other people who might be the worrying neighbor listening to abuse or what they think abuse sounds and looks like, what do you say to them who might be tuning in right now to console them that when they make that report anonymously, that it won't come back as them being the person that, you know, talked about it? How do you go about explaining to the person reporting that they don't have to worry about it coming back to them? Isani don't have to worry about, you know, the neighbor thinking that he said.
Right, so you don't have to give your name. They don't take your number. They would probably ask if you would like to stay your number on record, if they would want to do a follow-up, if you have additional information that you would want to give. So that opportunity is there. But if you say, I don't want my name, I don't want my number, I want to stay anonymous, that is there, and it's guaranteed that there is no information coming out from the hotline numbers that you're calling.
If we could perhaps segue just a bit from that aspect of the Blue Teddy campaign to discuss what seems to be an alarming increase in the number of sexual violence and sex abuse cases involving children, minors. Over the past week or so, there's been an urge, so to speak, or a clamoring for there to be a sex offense registry. Have you guys sat down as NCFC to discuss a position on that, or what are your views on these types of offenses being committed against children?
Well, we know that there is a registry. I know that perhaps we'd like that registry to be open to the public, but I know that the relevant ministries, which would be Human Development and others, they are taking the necessary steps to ensure that that registry is up to date.
Do you believe there's an importance to have the registry made public?
Well, I think that's a catch-21, question 2 or whatever number it is. I think we have to be very cautious on how we proceed if we are going to do this public. I'm not saying that it will be public or anything like that, but I'm just saying that if we need to, I mean, everybody knows Belize is small enough, right? And you can just think about everything imaginable that can come out from that, especially violence. Already violence occurs to someone who we believe is probably a perpetrator. And then so if you're exposing this list, I think that the violence will just increase instead of decrease. So there's a lot of things that needs to be considered before publicly putting names out there or persons or images of people.
So here it is for me, Anna, right? As a parent, I got 2 picnic. Both of them are underage, right? And I would want to know if my next door neighbor has any record of an offense having to do with minors that are of a sexual nature. I think I need to know that, because there are times when my kids would probably be out in the yard playing, or there may be times where the parents may not be at home for a short period of time, and any number could play, right? But if I know that the person next door is safe, so to speak, then that's an extra burden I don't have to worry about. But if I know that my next door neighbor is a predator or convicted of sex offenses involving minors, then I know to be extra cautious or precautious of the fact that somebody next door is about to not to question, you know? I think we need to know that kind of information. Okay. So I do understand that it's sensitive. Yes, it is. But at the same time, that kind of transparency makes us breathe a little easier too. You send your kid to school and you don't know who they're about, right? Or to church or to shop or whatever, you don't know that there's one lurking right in your presence.
You spoke earlier about putting sensitive information out there, and I want to segue to a workshop that was held a couple weeks ago by NCFC with media practitioners, highlighting reporting and the responsibility that we have when it comes to highlighting information regarding minors. Why is it important for the NCFC to engage media practitioner when it comes to that?
It's important because we, like Ms. Carla said, we all have a responsibility. We all play a part of the protection system. we want that children are well. We want that they can grow into productive, respected persons. But I think that a lot of times when data or information of a person is out there, particularly a minor, if it affects an adult, imagine a minor, particularly sensitive information. I think one of the concerns that we had is like, for instance, like when they're reporting and they will say, let's say Bakatong something, right? And then you say probably the street name in the area or something. Then you are already zoning into a small population, and then everybody will start to be looking at each other and say who it is, and already try to identify. But what is it that what purpose is it serving by zoning in? You're re-victimizing. You are causing that person to go through trauma again. And it's not only in that moment, it is for a lifetime, because that stays on the internet, that stays in archives, that stays everywhere. So if I ever want to go and find what happened to you, I can just type it in there, and everything about you or something similar to you, or you know, or would show up. So, and that continues, and that would not stop as a child. That will continue for the rest of your life. So you're leaving some sort of footprint, and we want to make sure that whatever footprint we're leaving something positive, not negative. We don't want to carry that for the rest of our lives. There are people who don't get these traumas attended to. They don't do therapy or counseling. So the moment that something comes on, it triggers you. I was about to say, it sounds like he was a little bit triggered by what was happening, because probably he was not exposed to that. So imagine what happens to a child for the rest of their, when they're no longer a child, and they have to live with that. And it's a constant reminder. I go and type my name on Google, and everything that I have accomplished in my life is going to be there. And I'm sure that if something I do bad or something that happened to me, and it will be there. So that will
the blemish outlast.
Yeah, so exactly. So it's like one bad thing, and then everything else just.
I just want to go back to a point that you said, though, about the registry and all of that. I think as parents, it is important that we educate our children about what abuse looks like, you know, and so we have to teach our children that there are certain boundaries that should not be crossed. Right? So I'm not saying that you're supposed to treat everybody like a potential perpetrator or abuser, right? But it's important for us to, as parents, to teach our children what is good, what is allowed, even with family members, what is permissible, right? So not because you're an uncle or an aunt or a teacher, you know, or coach, or, you know, so that is very important.
Absolutely. Now, the workshop that took place, that was one of the efforts that the NCFC has been trying to work with other stakeholders. And this is all under the Blue Teddy Bear campaign as well, which will be rolling out for the remainder of the year. Talk about what the involvement has been like from other stakeholders. Are you guys still trying to get other people on board as well?
Yes, definitely. We welcome community-based organizations, faith-based organizations, and the private sector. We'll be working later this year with certain schools. And so if there is any stakeholder out there that is interested, they can reach out to the NCFC office. We have already started training with community-based organizations. The response has been very good. One of the important components of the training, whether you're a CBO, private sector, or whatever, is learning the referral pathway, learning what signs of abuse look like, you know, and obviously physical abuse or sexual abuse is obvious, right? But emotional abuse, you know, tense or neglect, you know, we might maybe put it under the umbrella of disciplining a child or whatever. So we have to be very careful with that. So we're going to be doing training with parents. We're going to be doing training with students. So we'll be working with students later in the year. So right now the focus is on the community-based organizations as part of this supporter journey, and also the private sector. So after the training, that is the educate portion of it. Then we have the engagement portion. So then these organizations are tasked with creating or coming up with campaign awareness activities, at least 2. And then the third part of that is the reform. So they need to look at what policies they have in place, or at their workplace, and how we can strengthen those policies to advocate for child protection. And finally, the last part of the supporter journey is acting, meaning that you become an advocate for child protection for the Blue Teddy Bear campaign.
Excellent. Ladies, this has been a rich conversation. Unfortunately, though, we are out of time, but I'm hoping that viewers tuning in was able to engage with us and share even some of their thoughts. I see some people still talking about the registry in the comment section, why they support it, why they do not support it. We welcome all thoughts in the comment section. But we're going to take another quick break, but don't go anywhere. When we come back, we have more for you right here on Open Your Eyes.
Belize wakes up connected to opportunity. And across our country, the work to keep Belize connected continues. SMART continues expanding our network across the country, bringing stronger coverage to more communities. With recent service enhancements in areas at Blue Creek and Progresso, Belize City, Orange Walk, and more on the way. We're bringing education closer to home, empowering entrepreneurs to grow their businesses, supporting industries that drive our economy, and keeping families connected wherever life takes them. With every expansion, we are investing in the infrastructure that moves Belize forward. Because connection isn't just about signal, it's about opportunity, progress, and the future we are building together. SMART, bringing people together.
KTV. I want only be. This is a part. If you got the voice, the vibe, and the passion to live everything you've got on this stage. Mark your calendar and get camera ready. Auditions are June 6 and 7 from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. At a Greater Belize Leisure Studios and Tony Drive, Belize City. Selected contestants will enter the KTV Season 8 competition, and the lucky winner will go home with a 10,000 grand prize. This is your moment. Are you ready? Are you ready? I want. And this is your moment. Are you ready? Are you ready? I want. From me there. This is your moment.
The future is calling. Belize Bank. Your future, our commitment.
Look here, your kitchen light, Diana, you never in the kitchen. Mama, going back in there right now.
And the coffee maker?
Just to try keep my coffee warm for later.
Where did you know?
I'll try to think more to eat.
You know the more you open or close the fridge, it takes longer for the food cool.
Uh-huh.
For a hot day like today, it burns more energy. You charge your phone right now?
No.
Plug it out then. You really only wash 2 socks and 1 shirt? You don't know what small load burn the same amount of electricity as large loads?
But this is my favorite shirt.
You have to be more energy efficient. Use large loads. This AC they blow hard. You know, if you keep the temperature at 25 degrees Celsius or higher, you burn less energy and you also keep the place cool. And for a nice day like today, turn off the AC, open up the house and make some fresh breeze come in.
You know what? I think I get it now. As consumers, we need to be more energy efficient and practice energy conservation.
Alrighty, welcome back. We're jumping into our second conversation, and it's a celebration of another milestone with the Social Security Board. They're celebrating service, growth, and community impact. Now, we have some wonderful ladies here with us to guide us through this conversation and what the celebration will look like this year. We have here with us Vanessa Veos. She is the manager and communications and PR representing the Social Security Board. We also have Ms. Moeva Garcia Fuller. She's a senior communications officer within the communications and PR department representing the SSB as well. And also Ms. Miriam Merkenya. She's a service delivery manager also representing the SSB here in Belize City. Ladies, thank you so much for joining us and welcome.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yes, it's a celebration indeed. I know there's much to highlight when we think of the impact of Social Security and how many people have come in contact with Social Security one way or another. We know for sure every single month, if you're working, you would be making those contributions. And so we'll definitely be seeing some comments in here, I imagine. But let's take a step back and really just look at the impact of Social Security on Belizeans in general, people who would come in contact one way or another. How would you describe that, Ms. Miriam?
Customer service is what we aim for, customer excellence. Social Security has been in existence since June 1st, 1981. When Social Security commenced, we started with about 26 staff members. Innovation, growth, stability, focus, professionalism. You know, today we have a staff of about 300 staff members, and it has been all through the efforts of each and every staff that has contributed towards where we are. When Social Security began, it opened its doors at the Civic Center in Belmopan on Bliss Parade. 26 staff members and 1/2 of the Civic Center. Today, we have 9 branch offices and 1 sub-office in Placencia. We offer all services now at the different branches as compared to before, where it was partial services.
Yeah.
Our mission has always been to grow the fund to help our contributors in time of need. We have moved on from everything paper-based. We have welcomed technology, we have embraced technology, and we are now digital. We offer our services online. We boast of My Social Security portal. The portal is available to all contributors. You can view your contribution history, you can print your contribution history. We also have our benefit services, where the physicians can submit your medical certificate online. You as the customer go in and submit your claim. Social Security has grown so much that when the system analyzes the submission, it goes directly to approval and payment. The employers can make use of it, submit their contribution statements monthly. They can pay online. We offer those services. We also have the Social Security app. Imagine from 1981, when our first general manager, Mr. Leonidas Quer, the general manager, which is currently known today, the role as the CEO, from where we started to where we are now. We had some sub-offices with one officer in charge, partial services, now to 9 branch offices and 1 sub-office. Fully servicing all Belizeans, fully servicing all employees. We are there to welcome the innovative ideas of our leaders, of our staff members, of our colleagues. And that in turn is what we offer the public.
You're well versed with the history. I mean, we saw even photos on screen with our very first Prime Minister as well, definitely being a part of that history there. 1981, that feels like even more special too when you think of when Belize gained independence even.
That's right.
But beyond service delivery and growing and becoming more innovative, there's also been ways that the Social Security has given back. And one of those ways has been through education even. There's a scholarship program that we know and we're very well aware of when it comes to many young people who've been impacted by the Social Security Board. I want to jump into some of those ways that you guys have changed lives through education even.
Absolutely, and I actually brought you guys breaking news.
Lovely. We love breaking news over here.
So I have a newspaper article for you guys. So it's really just one of our marketing materials where we are highlighting and promoting the scholarship program, right? Letting people know that it is now open, letting them know that your future could be transformed completely with a Social Security scholarship, right? We have seen how it has changed the trajectory of lives, and like you mentioned, to talk a bit about some of the scholarships and what we have seen come to fruition from those scholarships. We have had over 1,000 students go through the program. We are actually celebrating 25 years of this program's existence. And so that's 25 years of transforming lives through education, as you rightly mentioned. So that in itself is a milestone we're celebrating.
This is mainly for secondary?
High school. We have high school and secondary scholarships available this year. We aim to offer a total of 100 scholarship opportunities. So we want that number to be well received, to be known, because there are so many opportunities. And I remember I came on a show once with Isani, and Isani, he had some of his reservations, right? He was
as he does.
I always have reservations.
He had some of his reservations, and I think he'd be pleased to know that one of the comments he pitched to us the last time is that he feels as though a lot of the time scholarship opportunities, we tend to just focus on the financial aspect as opposed to the education aspect. So what we did this year is we changed the minimum the maximum, that is, annual family income from $25,000 to now $29,000 annually to make room for more Belizeans families, because we know a lot of the times it's the middle class who's impacted. We hear the feedback, we recognize it, we see the articles out there saying, but what about me? You know, how can I not qualify for a scholarship? And I too am a great student. So we definitely are aware of the noise on the market. We find ways to revamp, to revitalize our program, and we've done that for this year. So we have high school and vocation and high school and associate degree scholarships this year, and we have 100 opportunities.
Well, thank you for that, Isani. Look at you being useful. Look at you having some use over here.
It's a legitimate it's a legitimate observation, not only from myself, but from other parents who believe that, you know, hey, my child's an A student too.
Exactly.
What about us, as you rightly mentioned, right?
Exactly.
I feel good, I feel good.
Yeah, thank you for that.
So thank you indeed for that.
I also want to ask how, I mean, I imagine with the government now pushing, you know, having free education for government schools, there's going to be a lot less applications. Are you guys seeing a lot less applications for students in high school?
We are taking that into account, and we have seen that happen last year. But we thought, okay, what do we do with the high school scholarship program? Because we recognize that there is the education upliftment program with the government, but that only covers government schools.
Yeah.
And so there's this huge subset of schools that still have great education that these kids want to go to. So when us recognizing that, we knew that we could not necessarily eradicate the high school program. So we may just have to shift the numbers internally by offering more in the associate degree category, because that's where the volume is. We see a high number of applications for associate degree, and so we're doing a lot of work on the back end to make sure that the program is dynamic, it's modern, it's inclusive, and that it achieves all the goals that we have outlined for the program.
Here's my question for you, Maweva. At 25 years of this particular program, enjoying its successes, have you guys been able to look back at some of these students who made good of the scholarship opportunity and have actually become successful in their own right?
We have. Actually, we invite one every single year to be the guest speaker at our scholarship award ceremony. So we have like a whole collection of their names, right? I hope it's not stalker-like, but it's not, you know, we just want to make sure that we know where they are, how they're doing. We check in with them. And so we have media personalities who got scholarships from us. We have students who are in Taiwan right now working on either a bachelor's or a master's degree. We have a student who is actually working on becoming a lawyer. He is now at UWI. He got an associate degree scholarship from us. But aside from just the traditional formal education, we also have students who ventured off into entrepreneurship. We have the Miss Karina Kahl. She was the first female brewer for Belikin and Belikin. Yeah, we have like just a vast collection of students who have done tremendous things, and it's one of the ways that we are contributing to national development as well.
For sure, and this is only one area that we can touch on. We don't even have enough time to elaborate on the other areas, but I definitely want to ask, before we move on, how can people pick up their newspapers? I mean, they want to know hot off the press.
Yes.
They want to know how can they get more information on this, the deadline, the application process for the scholarship.
So application process, it's fully online, and the deadline is Friday, June 26th.
Ooh.
So all information is on our website already, but if you want one of those beautiful, the SSB Times hot off the press newspapers, they will be at our open day that's happening next week, Monday.
Excellent.
Yes, so we have a whole booth that is going to have some of those there. And so parents, students who come on over, they can learn more about the scholarship program, along with just so much that is going on that Miss Vanessa will definitely be telling you guys about.
And speaking of that open day and all the activities lined up, Miss Vanessa, walk us through it.
All right, gladly. First of all, I just want to say thanks once again for the opportunity to be here and for to be able to tell the viewers what we're planning for the 45th anniversary. So last year we published our strategic plan, right? It's a 5-year plan. The theme of it is building trust, empowering futures. And so the Social Security Board's vision is a dynamic, sustainable, and a progressive social security system, right? So in order for us to get there, there are 4 strategic priority areas that we have to focus on for the next 5 years. And the first one is good governance. So good governance, scheme modernization, operational excellence, and fund sustainability. So we're taking those 4 priority areas and we are then converting that into an experience that we want you to have when you go to each of our branches on that day. And so we have specific themes for those stations because we live strategy internally at the Social Security Board. It drives where we are going, but the public needs to understand too where we are going, because it's not just our Social Security Board because we work there every day. No, it is for us and it is also for you. And so in order to understand where we're going, this was a great opportunity to stress on those 4 priority areas. And so for good governance, it is trust through transparency. If you go on our website, you can find all of our annual reports or financial statements, statistical abstracts, and even the Social Security Strategic Plan, apart from other documents. So we're leading through trust. We're building trust through that transparency. We also have a whistleblower feature that if, let's say, you get wind of some type of fraud or something concerning, you can go on our website and you can follow the steps that is on that page for whistleblower, and you can log your complaint or concern anonymously, and we will keep that confidential. We will do the research and we will act accordingly. So it's very important for the people to know that we are leading through transparency, and we're trying to build trust and increase that trust level with the general public, that you can be at ease that we are managing the fund in a financially responsible manner. Right? The second station that I mentioned is scheme modernization, and Miriam touched on that when she spoke about the portal and the fact that in 1981 all of those processes were manual processes.
Yeah.
Manual, so pen and pen and paper and filing cabinet, typewriter,
Praying that a match isn't light. Doesn't light.
using the calculator, to do the calculations, etc. So now we've moved and we've embraced digital transformation, and it's not just us. There are other organizations that have done that too. But for the convenience of our customers, you can make a registration, an appointment to register for your Social Security card. You can check your contribution history. You can even make your retirement benefit claim online. Employers have services online as well. The medical doctors can do the online medical certificate online. So we've embraced digital transformation, and it's important for us to modernize. And we're not just modernizing in terms of services, but we're also modernizing as it relates to looking at the legislation and seeing where can we make the legislation more equitable for the people. So that's one of those areas that we are focused on. The third one is operational excellence. There are certain specific brand service standards, I should say, that you can expect when you go to any of our branches, whether you're in Corozal, you're in Punta Gorda, you're in San Pedro. There are certain standards you can expect, because we want service that you can feel. We want a positive interaction with us when you go to our branch offices. So even though we have that portal, we still have our branch offices. We're still there to support you through that customer experience. And the last station is fund sustainability, which is 45 years moving forward.
And everyone cares about that fund sustainability.
Right. And so at that station, you can visit the customer service agent, and we'll have a retirement corner there as well. So you're young and you might say, I'm not that concerned about my retirement at this point in time, but it's something that you need to have in your focus, right? So it's like, okay, what's the process for that, and what can I look forward to, and how do I ensure that I get the most possible retirement benefit at the end of the day? You will also learn how your contributions factor into the fund, how you get benefits paid out, what is left over, what portion of that goes into investments, because the fund becomes more sustainable when you combine investment income and contribution revenue, so that at the end of the day we don't get to that point where your inflows and your outflows are equal. We don't want that situation. We want that when you retire, you have that confidence that you will get that retirement benefit, and I will get that retirement benefit. And then of course our population keeps growing, so it's not just for us to make sure that we have a retirement, but it's also for the younger people coming up, that as they pay into that fund through those contributions, they're able to get a benefit in the short term, but also in the long term. And so that is the journey.
Yeah.
Right?
It really is, and you so eloquently described the importance of each and every one of those pillars and what people can expect when they stop at the different departments countrywide. Now, I want to quickly look at the dates of when people can expect these types of breakdowns, and different offices. Where are they located?
Okay, so next week, Monday, from 8 o'clock to 5 o'clock, we will be celebrating our 45th anniversary. So from Corozal, Orange Walk, San Pedro, the Belize City office, Santa Elena, Dangrega, the sub-office in Placencia. I don't know if I mentioned Santa Elena just now. Independence and Belmapan, yes, and of course Punta Gorda. So across the board, any branch that you visit, you will encounter the Social Security journey, where we celebrate the 45 years. And of course, as you interact, you learn valuable information, but also you get a chance to win a prize, and you engage. So it's very important that you get information, but also a memorable, positive customer experience. And that's what we're aiming for with operational excellence. So our theme, our theme for this year, I didn't mention it, is securing today, sustainability tomorrow. That is the banner for celebrations for this year.
Here's my final question for you ladies, right? So 45 years is a milestone. Institutionally, how are you guys celebrating that under new leadership?
Well, we will be having a unity moment, right? Because the Social Security Board is a service organization, right? So we have very passionate staff members and they also want to celebrate too. But then because it's a service organization, we still have to
Make the focus about the service.
Right, serve the public. But there will be a unity moment at 4 o'clock. That is the schedule or the plan. And our CEO will be leading that unity moment where we will be doing our own reflections in terms of the Social Security Board. I think the Social Security Board, unlike many other organizations, stands out for having a lot of long-standing, serving staff members. You're talking over 20 years, 25 years, 30 years. And so for the new persons coming in, it's going to be a very positive time because then you get, just like what Ms. Miriam shared with you, to give you a quick synopsis of the journey of those 45 years. You get to learn more about how things were, but also you can appreciate where we're going. And that's also one of the key targets that we have for that day, for next week, Monday, June 1st, that you understand where we were, where we are, and where we're going, because we are a strategically led organization. And those 4 priority areas that I mentioned, they are very important to us. It guides the decision making that we do, because we want to get to that place where we are a dynamic, progressive, and sustainable social security system.
Excellent.
So we're very targeted.
Ladies, wow. I feel like filled, you know.
Let me tell you, I have celebrated 34 come the 22nd of June of those anniversaries with SSB.
I believe you know, Miriam, because when you were listing off some of that history, it sounded like you were there, like you witnessed some of it.
I did.
Yes, for sure. Well, ladies, thank you so much. You know, this has been a wonderful conversation. I could definitely see the contributions, impact that we have on the Social Security Board, where our money is going aside from just retirement. We can see other investments and the way that this company has grown, you know, beyond just the start in 1981. I'm hoping that we can find ourselves at the nearest Social Security Board office, go and learn where our money is going and find out more about how you can prepare yourself for retirement as well. Definitely speaking to you young people. All right, well guys, we have to close off this conversation. Thank you so much for joining us. Congratulations once more, and we wish you guys all the best.
Thank you so much.
All right, we are going to jump into our next break, and then when we come back, we have another conversation on celebrating World Environment Day, a call to climate action.
Board's new whistleblower reporting system makes it easy and confidential to speak up by reporting misuse of the Social Security services and benefits, including fraud, misconduct, false claims, and more. If you know of any unethical or illegal activity relating to SSB benefits, claims, or personnel, go to ssbspeakup.integrityline.com or use our toll-free hotline 0800-SPEAK-UP. 0800-773-2587. This confidential reporting system is a way for you to report concerns or incidents privately without fear of reprisal. Your submission is confidential and anonymous. The Social Security Board is committed to providing a secure, confidential medium for whistleblowing that promotes organizational accountability and enhances public confidence in our services.
Ready, Dangriga? Something big is coming your way. Open your eyes, Summerfest 2026 is heading to the culture capital, Dangriga. Join us on June 12th at 6:30 a.m. at the iconic Alejo Beni Park for a morning filled with energy, excitement, and pure talent. This year, it's all about the kids, from singing to dancing, poetry to performances. If they've got talent, we've got the stage. Bring out the entire family and come celebrate creativity, culture, and the future stars of Belize. Expect fun, music, surprises, and unforgettable moments. Don't miss it. Open Your Eyes Summerfest 2026, where young talent shines the brightest.
Stay connected in the USA for as low as $10. With Smart Roaming Data Pass, staying connected is simple and affordable. Get the data you need starting at 1,000 megabytes to stay connected to larger plans that keep you online while you travel across the USA. So you can message, browse, video call, and navigate wherever you go. No SIM swap, no bill shock. Just simple, affordable pricing. Activate easily by dialing *100# using the Smart app or online. Smart Roaming Data Pass. Staying connected the smart way. Smart, bringing people together.
Prepare for the sweltering heat with a Rheem AC unit to keep you and your family cool and cozy. Get the recommended BTU for your bedroom or living room and enjoy complete comfort. You can also save some much-needed cash with an inverter unit, which provides superior energy efficiency. When the heat is on, stay cool with an affordable, dependable AC unit from Rheem. Available at Benny's. Quality and savings.
People don't travel with cash anymore. People would stop and they want to do a coffee tour, they want to buy coffee, but people don't have cash with them. Online banking facilitated a lot of what we do. I don't have to run to town and I have to use fuel and other expenses. Atlantic Bank actually approached us. They facilitated us with a bank account, which is something that we didn't have in hand, and then with a POS machine. I sit and sip my good cup of coffee and do payments.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Insurance fact. Did you know Home Protector Insurance provides liability insurance that is for licensing? Public liability insurance for the hotels and guest houses protects the guests staying at the resort. Tour operators insurance for on-site tourists and marine passenger liability for passengers. You take care of your guests, we'll take care of you. Visit any Home Protector Insurance office near you to learn more.
And welcome back. Joining me for the next one-on-one conversation is Shani Rayburn, and she's an environmental technician, public awareness and outreach at the Department of Environment. Good morning, Shani.
Good morning, Asani.
We're here to discuss the upcoming World Environment Day.
Yes, we
under
are.
the theme, A Global Call to Climate Action.
Yes.
Break that down for us and what it means for what it should mean for our viewers.
Yeah, morning, and thank you for having me this morning. World Environment Day basically reminds us to protect our environment, but it also reminds us that it is not only the government's responsibility, it's a call for action for all of us, which means countries, communities, businesses, and even young people get to play a part in protecting our environment. The global call for climate action looks at what are we being impacted from and what can we do to prevent that.
Now, oftentimes we hear these buzzwords, right? Climate action is one of them, right?
Yes.
We've been hearing that quite frequent lately because of climate change and everything that's happening in our natural environment and what have you. How do we sell this idea to Belizeans that that call does also apply to us here at home?
Yeah, the team does just that. One of the things that I think people need to realize is that when we talk about climate, we're talking about our environment, our temperature, our climate, what it really is, right? And I think people need to fully understand that every action that they do out there actually impacts us, right? The burning of fires, the burning of garbage, right? We have to practice proper waste management. We have to look at pollution prevention in specific areas. And one of the things I do want to highlight is that the team looks at sustainable lifestyle. So carpool when you can, ride your bike when you can, looking at that entire transportation, looking at infrastructure that already exists for a cleaner environment. We have to tap into those things so that we can have that global call.
It's interesting that you would look at transportation, because in Belize we've seen a significant increase in the number of motorists, right?
Yeah.
So that everybody now has a vehicle or aspires to drive their own vehicle at some point.
Or have more than one vehicle.
Or more than one vehicles, right? And then you look at the effect that that has on our climate or our environment. We're still using vehicles that burn fossil fuel, right? So it's not like we're all buying EVs.
E-vehicle. Yeah. One of the things I think is important when we look at transportation is being able to service your vehicle on time, because we're looking at the emission that that creates if it's not serviced, right? So we have to really look at what we're doing out there that can impact us, right? I always have this thing, it's like a ripple effect. I can go there and do something good and someone else will follow that, or I can go there and do something bad and someone will follow that, right? This year, we want to look at World Environment Day holistically. It's celebrated every year on June 5th, and this year we're doing something a little bit different. We've always wanted to do it, but we've never done it. We wanted to do a symposium. It didn't really happen. So this year we want to take it up a notch a bit, and we want to celebrate by doing a youth forum and a hackathon, which is happening on June 5th. What happened is that the Youth Forum is going to be focused on our National Environmental Policy and Strategy, also known as the NEPS. So right now we have a consultant that is reworking that strategy for us. What that strategy is a national framework for how we should look at environmental management and sustainable development. So that document will be looked at by junior college students, specifically associate students, of 5 to 6 persons per team. We also have an advisor that will be assigned to you. We also have the Climate Academy with the National Climate Change Office. We'll be using their academy to assist persons like the junior college team to really look at what the Youth Forum wants. Our Youth Forum, basically, we're going to give junior college students the opportunity to understand what the NEPS is and then come up with a national environmental action plan. In that action plan is what the consultant will be working and liaising with them. What they will have to look at is the NEPS, because the NEPS is categorized into 5 strategic and thematic clusters. So we're looking at blue, green, resilient, clean, and strong. Those 5 thematic areas is what junior colleges will be looking at to come up with actions that they can do within their community or within the school or nationally in Belize to carry out that specific thematic area. So I think that's very interesting, engaging youth, being able for them to think critically and to see how decisions are being made. And one of the things with the document, the good part about it is that when they come up with these actions, this action will actually go into the National Environmental Action Plan and it will be prioritized. So when I look back at this, I'll be like, I gave an input to that. I had something to do with that document and that action plan, and I think that's very unique for the Youth Forum.
Before we get into the hackathon, I want to kind of go back a bit on the strategy and the action plan. Too often in Belize, we see the development of these documents where a lot of research and a lot of information, detailed information goes into it. But oftentimes, more often than not, really, nothing happens. It just languishes on a shelf and catches dust, right? How do, and in this case, it's accompanied by an action plan.
Yes.
So it does have that component where people are actually going to be putting the document to use,
right?
But how do we ensure that over time that we're able to fulfill all or meet all the targets within the action plan?
So the action plan is developed for a period of 5 years, and what this does is that it creates a coordinated plan between sectors and institutions. So when you look at the thematic areas, we know, for example, when it comes to green, so we're managing forests, we're going to be putting, the forest department will be the one to take the lead in this, right? And so that will then look at the coordination between all sectors. It's not only the Department of the Environment that will do it, it will be other stakeholders that will also be involved throughout this consultancy. So that's the important part. We have to be coordinated. We do have other agencies that do the same thing that we're doing. We're just trying to tap in and put our resources and pooling it together to then commit and meet this one goal that we want, which is protecting the environment.
So take me to Hackathon and what you guys are hoping to achieve by getting, I guess, young people to be a part of this initiative.
Yeah, so the hackathon is very unique. It's a part of the Youth Forum. The Youth Forum will happen in the morning. Like I mentioned, they'll be looking at these thematic clusters within the NEPs. They will develop their actions. Now in the afternoon session, the same junior colleges will be looking at developing idea, a budget implementation plan of how they will carry out a specific action from what they had developed in the Youth Forum, right? So it's very connected and it's synced together. So in the afternoon when they come back, we'll have judges and we'll also have other potential funders that would be there. So like if I'm a potential funder and I go there and I see an idea that is something that meets my mandate and my objective, it's something I could tap into and then meet with those teams to really hash it out and so forth. But the hackathon really and truly will identify one team that will win a prize where it will be funded, the idea that they have based on the specific action that they choose for their thematic area. So that's basically what the hackathon is. They'll come into this room, they will have all the advisors and support that they need, technical advice. They also will have an idea of how to go about developing the implementation plan, how long, what period will it take to do certain activities for that action, and be able to then present that back to our judges. And the judges will have the hard task of selecting which team then wins the hackathon.
So we commemorate World Environment Day annually.
Yeah.
What has been the overall buy-in from Belizeans in terms of taking the environment seriously, in terms of looking at environmental issues and trying to find practical solutions within the Belizean context to address these matters?
Okay, so that's a very good question because I know from the hackathon that is what we want to achieve, the buy-in from the youth. What we've been seeing in the general public is they're knowing that there is an environmental issue, which is very important and which is why we try to educate. But what I actually love about the general public is that they've been able to not only identify what the issues are, but reach out to us to help us find solutions for that. And so that's why it's very important that we engage with the public and now we're engaging with the youth because we want to hear their fresh ideas. What I might not know might work out there, they may have a solution for. And so it's very important for us to work together to get what we really want is to protect our environment.
Excellent. For the benefit of our viewers, can you go through the activities once more and what day we will be celebrating World Environment Day?
So we celebrate World Environment Day every year on June 5th. We have a real competition right now that you see here on the flyer where people get to tell us what actions they can take for the team, a global call for climate action, and then send us that reel and they will enter the competition. Deadline is this Friday, May 29th. We have the Youth Forum, which is coming, the Youth Forum and Hackathon, which is on June 5th, which junior colleges have already registered. So we're meeting with them online tomorrow to discuss what the NEPS really is about. And so that is happening on June 5th. The Hackathon is in the afternoon on June 5th. And so we get to see which junior college wins the funds that we've been provided with. We also have a school tour that we're doing in primary schools because we want to engage them as well. We want to see their ideas. We want them to become environmental stewards at a very young age, and so that is what we're gearing towards. The school tour starts on June 8th and ends on June 15th, and we have selected one school per district, the Standard 4s particularly, to cater for that school tour.
Excellent. Thanks a lot, Shani.
Thank you.
And happy World Environment Day in advance.
Thank
right?
you. Thank you.
All right. We're going to take another commercial break, and when we come back, it's for our final segment. It's all about cleaning up the streets of the Belize City. All right? Taking all those derelict vehicles off the road. Stay tuned.
Full-Tech Systems understand that technology isn't just a tool, it's a game changer. At home, smart devices and AI are revolutionizing daily life. In education, tech is making learning more interactive and accessible for students and educators alike. For businesses and government, it's driving innovation, streamlining operations, and unlocking growth, leveraging tech for better services, infrastructure, and security. At Full-Tech Systems, we help you thrive with cutting-edge solutions, partnering with leaders like Dell, HP, Microsoft, APC, Fortinet, Cisco, and Tomy. We deliver the right products for your needs, whether it's boosting efficiency, improving customer engagement, or scaling operations. Connect with us and let's drive innovation together. Full-Tech Systems, your technology center, where you come for the price, but stay for the service.
In the heart of the Kaya district, Calico Jacks is proving that sustainability and success can go hand in hand.
When Calico Jacks wanted to move to solar energy, the biggest difficulty for us was the finance. Belize Bank believed in our vision, and we are very happy and grateful that they gave us this opportunity for the financing.
Through the Credit Risk Abatement Facility, a partnership between Belize Bank and the CARICOM Development Fund, small and medium businesses can access financing for renewable and energy-efficient solutions with reduced collateral requirements.
Here at SCSB, we're grateful for Belize Bank to make it easier for our clients to go green. We're proud to work with businesses like Calico Jacks to help them lower their costs and their carbon footprint.
At Belize Bank, we are powering Belize's transition to renewable energy, one business at a time. Together with our partners, we're making sustainable financing accessible for all.
Belize Bank, financing a greener, stronger Belize.
Some hands do more than carry. They prepare, they fix, they comfort. They keep a home moving in ways few people notice. And even when the day is done, they are still thinking of home. For the months of May and June, we celebrate the hands that hold the home together, offering you 25% off on tiles, lights, fans, ACs, gardening supplies, and more, both in-store and online. Thank you, moms and dads, from Builders Hardware.
Life moves fast. Your connection should keep up. Need more credit? More data? A flex bundle that fits your lifestyle? With Smart Prepaid, they're a prepaid option for every lifestyle and budget, making it easy to stay connected wherever you are. Because with Smart Prepaid, you can connect on your terms. Purchase credit, data, flex bundles, prepaid plans, and all your favorite prepaid services at any Smart agent, Smart showroom, or simply dial *100# key. No stress, no waiting. Just fast, easy, convenient ways to stay connected every day. Smart Prepaid. Connect on your terms. Stay connected in the USA for as low as $10. With Smart Roaming Data Pass, staying connected is simple and affordable. Get the data you need starting at 1,000 megabytes to stay connected to larger plans that keep you online while you travel across the USA. So you can message, browse, video call, and navigate wherever you go. No SIM swap, no bill shock. Just simple, affordable pricing. Activate easily by dialing *100# using the Smart app or online. Smart Roaming Data Pass. Staying connected the smart way. Smart, bringing people together.
Welcome back. This is our final conversation, but certainly not the least. We are joined by representatives of the Belize City Council to talk about their efforts to clean up Belize City, specifically focusing on derelict vehicles across the city. Now, this one is for you guys struggling to move in a 2-lane street that is turned 1 lane because of those vehicles parked on the side. You might want to watch out if you're one of those persons who've been parking your vehicles. We have here with us Troy Smith. He's the valuation manager representing the Belize City Council. Jermaine Hyde, court manager, Belize City Council. Mauricio Gonzalez, enforcement manager, and Marcia Joseph, cemetery and public health manager. I was struggling there for a second. But guys, thank you so much for joining us. Let's talk about it.
Having us.
Derelict vehicles. We can't stand it, but I mean, I imagine at some point we've been parking our vehicles somewhere where we shouldn't have been keeping it for some time. But you guys are cracking down on those vehicles that have been stationed there and not moving, turning 2 lanes into 1 lane. Talk about this effort and why it's important. I don't know who do. Jermaine, let's jump into you.
All right. So the first thing I want to say is, of course, you're aware that we have upcoming works to be done, especially with the bridge replacement.
Yes.
And so this is a proactive approach from the council to ensure that we put things into perspective and put things in place to address these situations that will be coming. Now, as it relates to the derelict vehicles, like you rightly said, it's a problem.
It's a nuisance.
It becomes an issue for traffic flow.
Yeah.
And so we've decided to really amp up, because it's something that we do throughout the year, but we're amping up our approach on it. And so what we've decided to do is to put in the enforcement aspect of it, right? To ensure that we go out there, the vehicles are tagged, we remove them if they need to be. And not just that, but what we also plan on doing is the owners of these vehicles, we're going to bring them before the court and actually have them pay their fines that is due to the council.
As you can see on the screen, viewers and guys here, it's not just about persons who might park their vehicles there. It's about abandoned vehicles even. What are some of the reasons that people might describe having their vehicles stationed there?
Well, when you look at the law that deals with the derelict vehicle, that's one of the key elements of it, that the vehicle has to be abandoned, right? And so when you look at the definition of the derelict vehicle, you talk about the municipality looking at a vehicle and consider it abandoned, and there are 2 factors that we look at.
Okay.
One, where one or all of the tires and the wheels are removed, a portion of the engine is removed, and there are other parts of the vehicle that has been taken off. In addition to that, we look at vehicles that have been parked and not moved for a period of 6 months, where it's not, where it's unlicensed for a 6-month period and just remains there. Then as the competent authority, the city council then moves in, and we have Ms. Joseph, who really manages that aspect of the enforcement of derelict vehicles.
So in the case of
growing at a vehicle,
exactly, it's the time to move. Totally agree.
But I want to go to cases where persons have expressed woken up to tickets on their vehicles as well. Where would that fall in line of the derelict conversation?
Well, I think Mr. Gonzalez would.
So in reference to that, whether a vehicle is derelict or not, remember we still have to follow the traffic laws of Belize now. So if your vehicle is positioned in an area that is considered not legal, meaning you're parked on a curb.
So that might be no parking zones.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No parking zones, you're parked on a curb, you're parking in front of somebody's driveway, then you would wake up and find a ticket on your vehicle. But apart from that, if you're parked legally, then you'll have to go through the derelict vehicle process to get it removed.
Here's my question for you guys, right? So there's this initiative to address the issue of derelict vehicles in this city, right? And you drive around certain neighborhoods, you have a lot of vehicles piled up on one side of the road and so on. What have you guys done, or what are you actively doing to address the issue of street side mechanics? Because it's those street side mechanics who harbor a lot of these derelict vehicles wrong and about the place.
Well, it starts with the trail license, because what we find when a person applies for the first time, they apply within a space where at that time you would have say 4 space for the mechanic, and then over a period of time, they outsource that space. And then it has to be a serious monitoring process, because overnight, you're surprised to know that space become outsourced and they have 8 more vehicles outside. And then there is a transition process where they move on. Then after a period of time, they realize there's nobody checking, then they have to stay there, and then they get piled up.
Yeah.
So what we're doing from a trade license perspective, we are putting other policies, and not only putting policy, but enforce these policies, because a lot of time we start and we have so many business. And so with the link now with DOE, public health, when it comes to this type of license, now with the link with the different agencies, different departments, because we used to be with the inspection component, but realize the space that you apply for a trade license for mechanic, in the next 2-3 months, you outsource it. And so this is about public awareness, public education, to ensure that we kept it from the offset and not wait till 2, 3, 6 months, and then Ms. Marsha have all the stress now for tag it down. So we start from a trade license perspective.
So here's my next question, and I'll probably get into trouble with my friends on in the Port Loyola neighborhood, right? But check this out. Farbers Road, from start to finish, seems to be a recurrent issue where everybody a mechanic and everybody got vehicle line off, old vehicle, new vehicle, vehicle parts, tires, everything is strewn about Farbers Road, and you have to be extra careful how you navigate. Let's talk about what's being done to address the issue of Farbers Road.
Well, to add to what you were saying earlier, in terms of from a trade license standpoint, what we're finding out, and Ms. Marsha will tell you, being on the ground, a lot of these street side mechanics don't even have a trade license. So that's one of the targets, right? To ensure that all these street side mechanics that are popping up here and there, using the public space, that they actually, we get them before the trade board so that they can get their trade license done. As it relates to Farbers Road, we have plans in place, and of course that will be another segment when we look at our routing now to accommodate the new bridges. But one of the things that we've done, realizing that Farbers Road is such a key portal to traffic in the city, we've gazetted Farbers Road that there should be no parking on both sides of Farbers Road. So we're expecting that within the next week or so, the final publication to go out in the Gazette, and after that it becomes law that no parking on both sides. So that's one of the approach that, from an enforcement standpoint, that we've taken.
Is there a number that we should call if we know they have a mechanic wrong way where they have a whole section, maybe not have a trade license, asking for friends?
We have, it can be done up through our Facebook page. We have the WhatsApp, everything, any contact number for Belize City Council. You make a report, and of course Mr. Smith will send his investigators out there to look at it and investigate and see what's happening there.
One of the next approach that we're using, we already identified these mechanics already. We also have trade without trade. We want to sanitize, we're going to have a meeting and just forge a way forward with them. It's not to be hard and fast, but make them understand, because the trade board is a business-friendly board, so we don't want to be hard and fast, but at the same time, we want full compliance, so that in the event any issue, we could traffic can be flow at any given time.
We have a viewer here. I just want to quickly say this. A viewer here said, we have a neighbor that's a mechanic, and he have his whole yard to park his vehicles in, but block up the street that we can't even park in front of our homes. And that's essentially
so that is
the
exactly
issue
what we're trying to target, and Ms. Marcia will tell you, she's been on the ground.
Miss Marcia, tell me what you to do on the ground.
The thing being on the ground, sometimes it's very difficult, because these street sides mechanic, they will take you like you're that stupid. They will try to feel like, oh, I drive this, I drive that. How could you drive 4 vehicles at the same time? Just to try to make it seems like they are not a mechanic. But in reality, there is no way you can drive so many vehicles. In other cases, they will say, oh, I'm not a mechanic. You're not a mechanic, but yet a hood is up, 2 wheels is off of a vehicle, all like oil, the different parts of a vehicle is there.
You have all the elements of a mechanic, but you are not one, you know?
Plus it smell like grease.
And the thing that I try to tell some of them is that if a customer bring their vehicle and you know that they don't have the parts, then ask them to take it back home. Return the vehicle when they have the parts, because leave it here on the street, the council will remove it. At some point in time, we will come, we will tag it, and then it will be removed. And then if once we remove it, you have to pay to get it back.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, I was just going to say that it's a twofold type approach from the trade license officer to deal with the mechanics, and also from the enforcement standpoint, we are actually going after the owners of these vehicles, because when Miss Joseph tagged these vehicles, they have 48 hours in which to remove the vehicle, and if they don't do that, we take them before the court, and there's a fine of up to $500.
Wow.
Right, for not complying with the sticker. And even if after that happens, the vehicle is not removed, then the council goes in, we get our tow truck, and we remove the vehicle. Any cost that the council incurs to remove this
You
vehicle
also have to pay
is
for.
also paid for by
So
the
that's
owner.
important for viewers who might have their vehicle stationed at a mechanic.
Exactly.
That know you're a mechanic, they pay for that. You.
Because when we run the license plate, we will get who is the registered owner of that vehicle. So that's the person that we're going to go after to collect these fines. And in addition to that, if we remove the vehicle and they don't come for the vehicle, we will sell the vehicle by public auction, and that is in
Makes our revenue.
and so we will have a public auction and sell the vehicle, and from the proceeds of that, we're going to sum up what our bill is and collect what is there.
Mauricio.
One other point I'd like to bring across, I know we're speaking about the process, we're speaking about enforcement, but one thing that we have to think about also is community compliance. What we're here to do is to share this information, to educate the community. It doesn't have to come to enforcement. I mean, they could also, knowing that they have these vehicles at these mechanics, they could go out and move these vehicles. You know what? My vehicle has been there for 4 months, I don't have the parts. Instead of having the city council have to go out and move your vehicle, go move your vehicle, take it back to your private lot, you know. So it doesn't have to reach enforcement, but if it has to, then there's fines, there's processes to follow. No?
The thing is that what I notice is that when we go out and tag it, the mechanic don't necessarily inform the owner. They will inform the owner if we go and remove it, or on the day that we're there to remove it, then they will be on their phone trying to get the owner to remove the vehicle.
And then last minute thing create more chaos and frustration.
Then they end up on the news.
And the owner incurs that fine up to $500 in addition to that.
Wow.
And if the owner doesn't know, like Mr. Hyde rightfully said, then the city council sells your vehicle.
And this isn't something you could talk your way out, Anita.
Ignorance is no excuse to the law.
No, if you know Mr. Troy, go on, you know he that the man will charge everybody, so you go on your talk. We need to see Mr. Smith. Gentlemen and lady, as we wrap up the conversation, give us an idea of when this process will be rolling out. Is this happening currently right now? Should people be paying close attention to this? If they know they have vehicles on the road, if they know they have vehicles at a mechanic, when should they be ensuring that their vehicles are pulled back, or the steps that should be taken?
The derelict removal process has always been happening. Mrs. Joseph has been on the ground for years. However, with the new construction coming up with these bridges, we want to find it fit to come back out to come to the public and share this education, share this information with them, because moving forward, we do need to have our streets clear. We do need to have these arteries free for the flow of traffic now. So we're trying to make that final push.
And it's all a part of the approach. Like Mr. Gonzalez said, we have our 3 E's: engage, educate, and then enforce. And so we're taking the time now to come out, give the people, the residents, the information, engage with them, those who are who live in these areas where they have the street side mechanics. And the last thing we're going to do is to enforce. So we get everybody to buying and work on it.
It's not only the mechanic, you also have guys that operate as a scrap yard, because an area to the back of Martin's, literally if a fire or something to happen, there has no exit, no entrance, no exit, because the whole entire area is full of lone scrap vehicle.
All right, well, we do have to wrap up this conversation, and so we thank you guys so much for joining us at this time. We are completely out of time, and so to everyone else who also joined us, thank you as well. It is May 26th, and if you're celebrating a birthday today, happy birthday to you. If you'd like to give a birthday shout out, or if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can send us an email at oie@greaterbelize.com. You can also catch us on our social media pages. We have Facebook, that's Open Your Eyes BZ, Instagram for behind the scenes content, that's OIE Belize. We even have a TikTok, that's openyoureyes.bz, and a phone number where you can call us or text us, that's 675-2555. But please do us a favor and join us again tomorrow on Wednesday when you open your eyes
To start your morning right.
Until then, be sure to keep your eyes, your mind,
And your hearts open.
Have a wonderful Tuesday. Stay dry, stay safe, stay hydrated still, and we'll catch you tomorrow. Bye.
Open Your Eyes was brought to you by the Belize Bank, our country, your bank, and Smart, bringing people together.